Good afternoon, everyone. My name is James Rivers, as I say, from Imagine Communications. I'm a solutions engineer focusing in the playout and networking portfolio for the company. And on my left, I have this fine gentleman here, Head of Sports, Steve Purkess from Creative Technology. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so I do have a number of questions to ask. I had to prepare them. I will forget them, so forgive me for this bit of paper. The title of our discussion is obviously behind the scenes, Creative Technology's impact on the live event production sphere. So before we get going into that particular subject matter, Steve, just for everyone's sort of benefit, background on who is Creative Technology, what you're about, and just let us know where you play in the live event space.
Okay. Creative Technology is a global technology provider to live events. We provide a range of technologies to support the live events industry. We're part of the NEP group. You'll be familiar with NEP Broadcast, the broadcast facilities provider, and more. Creative Technology is the live event stream within the NEP group, and it's the brand we operate under predominantly.
Okay, so very much in the events that we all know and love and go to, music events, corporate events, all the big international sporting events, you create that environment. That's what Creative Technology is about.
Correct, yeah. Okay. So, yeah.
So with that large team that you have globally of dedicated personnel that you have, and all the events that you have to deliver, what have been the key standouts for you over the past year or so, 2024? What would be the key ones you want to highlight?
Okay, I think probably the biggest one that we worked on in 2024 was the Olympic Games and Paralympic Games in Paris. We provide a lot of the sports arena infrastructure for each of the I think it's 50 odd sports arenas throughout Paris, and the surfing venue out in the Pacific Ocean as well, which is great. We also we were brought on by Live Golf to do their live event kind of sports presentation production system, which has been a big challenge. We delivered that all around the world. And also we're at Wimbledon. We're at Wimbledon every year.
I was going to mention it.
It's always special being here. So
this is a place that you know and love. You would have done things with Henman Hill and other bits. So obviously the whole venue of the live event sphere here, you would have covered that in part of your role.
Absolutely, yeah. So I sort of account manage the services we provide here. We provide all the on-court scoreboards. That's one thing we do. It's the largest part of the service we provide. But as you said, we're working on the Henman Hill production system, delivering content for the Henman Hill, and then as some of the other courts are not played on anymore, they become overflow, and we provide content for all those courts as well.
So just going back to the live event space, I'm not from there. Obviously you are, and you can tell us a huge amount of it. I met some of your very talented, very skilled individuals in Paris this year, thanks to Sam and Tilly and others. Brilliant team. Can you just paint the picture for us? What is it for you in live events as I'm going to prepare for this live event. What is the pre-build, the rigging, the event itself? Can you just, what are you undertaking during that process? What are you doing day to day?
It's quite a long, protracted procurement engagement normally. But once we're engaged on a project like that, we probably need to start about a year in advance from the actual games time to get all the planning in place. Anybody who's worked on Olympic Games will know there are just meetings on top of meetings on top of meetings for absolutely everything. Venue technology is no different to that. We have to there's a very, sort of to deliver these things efficiently, you need to use a kind of fairly slim team and move them around different venues. So scheduling for all those deliveries is extremely important. You have to agree with each venue, your slot, and actually, when you turn up, you have to be able to deliver. Otherwise, you're delaying yourself, others. It has a real big knock-on effect. So actually building the systems back at our kind of warehouse, preparing all the equipment. So it's just, roll up, take the lids off the flight case and get going.
And there I was thinking you just turn up on the day and it just magically all works. But no, there's a lot behind the scenes. So just going back to, those fantastic teams and people that you have, Obviously, they're a great asset to you. They're the human resource. They get the job done. But what about those vendors that you're working with? How are they making your life easier? You know, what advancement in technologies, or what are those vendors helping you to do your job more efficiently?
Okay, I think so. The majority of the work we've done on the Olympic Games, and we've been very engaged since 2012 and before, but 2012 as a kind of supplier directly to Panasonic.
Yep.
So we deploy a lot of the Panasonic technology, which is provided to the games in general.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, this year one of the major kind of steps forward we provided was the Kairos switcher, the software-defined switcher from Panasonic. Mm-hmm. We're great fans of that, and it allows multiple venues to be switched from a single source. So again, that kind of helps with creating a more efficient way of operating for the games. The Kairos is a 2110 native product, so we need some gateway to go on the back of that, just to kind of break it back out into sort of the baseband systems that we generally work with, and that's where we use the Imagine SMP, and it's fantastic. We didn't really need it; just plugs straight into the Kairos switcher, and it's as straightforward as it can be in the IP world, and it allowed us to actually get the baseband signals out and around to the sort of the endpoints that we needed to. We were expecting more of a 2110 workflow across the whole of the Olympics. Didn't really work out that way.
Right. And I want to talk about the Olympics, and I want to talk about an acronym that you know and love, which is DIVA. We'll get to that in a second. But just going back to Paris, this year, you mentioned that you're working with natively 2110 pieces of equipment, etc. But you were presented with a non-2110 environment, and so you're very much creating these 2110 islands. With an SDI infrastructure behind it. But we'll talk about DIVA in a second.
So essentially, we needed a kind of a gateway to sit on the back of our switcher to kind of like just go back into a board into a baseband kind of sort of overlay sort of system. And I think most of the people who are kind of facilities providers or whatever in this room, we still have a lot of baseband equipment we have to deliver to our customers, as well as pushing into that kind of IP-based sort of technology. So the SMPs we're using, like I say, they're very easy to use. We didn't have to have 2110 experts, which going on the last panel speak. We're trying to bring new people into the industry. You've still got like a legacy issue with a lot of the engineers who are not as IP literate as they should be. So the way that we were working was it worked out very well for us, and we had our little parachute team, the guys you met, to go in and do all the technical kind of fault finding for each of the venues. Yeah,
I mean, I guess it's a bit of it's one of those things, isn't it, where you have the traditional, I'm a broadcast engineer, I have all of that knowledge in that space. Now I'm a network engineer, and now I need to be a software engineer, and I have to wear many hats. Let's talk about DIVA. So you're going from an SDI to a fully IP sort of orientated distribution, and just to paint the context of the venues, especially on the large scale in Paris, you're not dealing with one live event venue for a volleyball game per se. You're dealing with multiple venues around a country, not just a city. And this is where DIVA comes in that regard. Can you just explain what DIVA is?
Yeah, so for sort of paint the picture, so obviously you have lots of suppliers coming into a sports venue at the Olympics, and you have your audio provider, video provider, sports presentation guys turn up. Yep. You've got the broadcasters that are there. You've got broadcast graphics, which can be sometimes located in a different location. All of those guys have connectivity requirements. And if they're all running their own signals, it can get a little bit difficult to kind of to identify when there's a problem, who's responsible for it. So what the Olympics sort of the technology guys within the Olympics organisation, they push forward this idea of DIVA, and they love an acronym in the Olympics. So here's another one. So it was so DIVA stands for Data, Intercom, Video, and Audio. Yeah. And essentially, it's a connectivity service within each venue, delivered by one supplier. Okay, so that basically takes away all the individual suppliers' requirements for connecting to each other, and it puts in a system to do that from a separate contractor.
And this is where 2110 is going to help you deliver that particular infrastructure. I know we're running out of time, but that's where technology vendors and others really need to assist you to get to those sort of objectives.
Absolutely. You know, the first time we delivered this kind of Diva service was at the Birmingham Commonwealth Games, and we did it all over IP. We presented it. It was obviously a bit of a leap of faith for the organisers because they'd never really done that in that way before, but they were very happy with how we presented and had confidence in our ability to deliver. So we delivered all of the connectivity over 2110 for video, and then we had additional network we had Dante network in place. We had we ran the communications over IP as well. We invested in a load of IP communications to so everything is so that's really helped us on our kind of journey into 2110, and I think we're getting a little bit.
I think I can hear the music playing already to take off the stage. Steve, Purkess, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.